Casual Nerdity is a podcast celebrating and discussing the pop culture that we love. Movies, TVs, comics, books, games, you name it. Our aim is to talk about the good, what worked, and yeah, sometimes what didn't. All with an eye towards building up, not tearing down. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome back to Casual Nerdity, everybody. We are back for another Clone Watch episode. And
Been a while.
yes, and today we're talking about that arc. You know the one, top
Even
five.
I know the one.
Yes, inhibitor chips, the conspiracy that changes everything we thought we knew about the clones and makes Revenge of the Sith hurt even more. I am Daryl, and with me, as usual,
I'm Lauren.
And guess who's back? Because it's an episode about my son.
yes, Betsy is back. So,
Betsy,
welcome
when
to...
are you eventually adopting all of us into your extended family?
Don't worry about it.
and,
Don't worry about it.
So, welcome to Casual Betsy, Betsy Watch.
I just have a lot of feelings about this arc, okay? Leave me alone.
The Betsy missions, the Betsy episodes.
Yes. So these 4 episodes: The Unknown, Season 6, Episode 1, Conspiracy, Season 6, Episode 2, Fugitive, Season 6, Episode 3, and Orders, Season 6, Episode 4, aren't just some of the best episodes of the Clone Wars. They're some of the best Star Wars, period, I would say.
Yeah,
And some
they
of the
are.
most important.
And some
to
of the
the
most emotionally
entirety.
devastating.
Yes. So let's jump into one of the most heartbreaking stories in the galaxy and ask the question we're all going to be yelling at our TVs and your podcast catcher of choice. Why won't anyone listen to Fives?
As we venture into the Clone Wars, the Lost Missions.
Now, let's explain before we dive in really quickly. For those who might be listening for the first time, Clone Watch is what happens when you have a group of people who like Star Wars a totally normal amount, to borrow Betsy's phrase,
Just normal. Very normal.
who are also avid role-playing gamers, who have a new friend come into the mix for a different game and get mixed in with our Star Wars games and everything else. That would be Lauren.
That's me.
And they might have
And-
regretted. Not sure when they will regret it, but it's eventual.
Yes, now they can't escape
Yes,
because
it's true.
we hold her hostage.
Mhm.
I was going to say she's our prisoner forever.
And
One
so,
of us.
Although,
So-
really, isn't Nick the one that's trapped with all of us?
True.
yes. And so
But I trapped him in a different trap.
so we have a bunch of, inside jokes and references and things that we keep making to Star Wars. And Lauren was like, okay, I don't get it. So you started spending time with Nick,
Yep.
watching Star Wars, starting with the prequels, Episode 1, Episode 2, and being a fan of animation. Nick convinced you to watch the Clone Wars in the most horrific way possible, which is chronological order.
Well, it was more like I suggested that we check out the Clone Wars, and then Nick made me watch episodes 1 and 2 before doing that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds like Nick.
Nick's like, I can fix her.
But no, we started watching the Clone Wars, and then I just was like, "Oh, you have to at least watch them." And I was reluctant to like, this is not going to be fun.
Oh, come on. It's where the memes come from. Just watch them for that.
It is true. The memes
if
did manage to
anyone-
sustain me.
If you don't watch Attack of the Clones, you don't get to see the I hate sand monologue in its natural habitat.
And if anyone knows memes, it's Lauren.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am the meme.
Honestly,
She is memes
like,
incarnate.
honestly, I
I'm-
feel that Lauren enjoyed those watches more than I did because I was like, "Oh wow, these are
Look,
bad."
I was
Lauren,
mostly neutral towards them.
Correct me if I have my numbers wrong, Lauren. You are made of 20% water, 10% fleshy things, and 70% memes.
But 100% Yuri.
Yes. Although you need to put in some hamsters and Kirby in there as well.
Oh, you're right, you're
Okay.
right. Wait, was Kirby under the fleshy things part?
Maybe. Although he's a little bit more
Okay.
rubbery than fleshy.
Don't
That's true.
ask about Kirby. I'm still recovering from when they
One of these
explained Kirby
days.
to me.
One of these days.
Yep, it'll be your turn, Nick. The
No,
turntables
I-
will be on the other foot.
No, I was there. Everyone else has to learn the horrors I had to learn.
I don't, because I've given Lauren recorder access to our recording platform, so she can run the Kirby episode.
Yes,
She will duct tape you to a chair and make you learn all the Kirby lore.
You should still learn the Kirby things, Daryl. Even if you don't have to.
Well, see, the thing is, I won't have anything to contribute to that episode, so I can listen to it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have anything to contribute.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and dive in, because we have many Walzo Betsy text in the show notes.
Yeah, there are some that are over a page.
It's another green
So-
episode,
so for-
everybody.
So those that are Betsy fans, strap in. It's my
I
It's
mean,
time.
who isn't a
And those that
Betsy fan?
aren't, strap in because you're gonna have to deal with me anyway.
I mean, I question anyone who is not a Betsy fan.
Aww.
honestly, that's fair.
But
I
let's
even
dive in.
even mentioned my friend Grant is a fan of your episodes.
Is he okay?
Is he secret? Is he safe?
I'm just saying, if he's like a fan of me, is he okay? Like, is something wrong? Because he might want to get that checked out.
Do they have a shot that'll clear that up yet, Betsy?
Not as far as I know. They should probably invent one, though.
Well, we're going to.
There's a vaccine for you yet.
They should get working on that.
We will dive in with the first episode that we are covering, The Unknown, Season 6, Episode 1, A Clone Trooper Suffers a Mysterious Mental Illness. Ooh, spooky. So we open with Anakin and his troops alongside two new Jedi in pitched battle.
On the planet Ringo Vinda, a world with a large artificial ring structure that was first developed in the concept art for Star Wars Episode 3.
It looks really cool, and I want to steal it and put it in an RPG session.
Oh, it's really cool. But also, twins! The two
And
new Jedi
twins!
are twins, and as a twin IRL, I just like seeing twins in media.
So, Nick, are you the evil twin, or is Nicole the evil twin? Wait, Nick must be, because Nick has the facial hair.
Oh, that's true. The one, because when you're in the darkest timeline and you're the evil version, you have the facial hair.
Yep.
And
I
see,
mean, I
here, I
think
was
it
just thinking of the Coors
I think it
commercial.
would look. I think it would really look good with a goatee.
I mean, you give it a try. Give it a try, but you have the facial hair, so you're the evil twin. Which made it really interesting on that episode of Deep Space Nine where Riker's transporter clone came back and stole the Defiant, because Riker already had a beard. And
That's
so
true.
his transporter clone was revealed to be the not quite evil, but the bad twin, that he had, the beard, but it turned out that, the two pieces going down the side to connect to what was essentially a goatee were false. He peeled those off, and he had just the evil twin goatee.
Because it was the only way they could differentiate.
Yes, even though Riker himself was not in that episode. So there was no
goodness.
need to differentiate.
Don't kick my butt if I just have a goatee. I think it would look cool.
Well, I mean, are you also going to show up like wearing glitter and stuff from the alternate timeline? In a crop top?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would look cool.
He needs to wear that episode, that season 1, episode 1 Gambit outfit from the kitchen.
There we go. That was a good one.
That
I'm just saying, whoever gave him that outfit understood the assignment.
Anyway.
yes.
Back on track.
Yes.
But yes, Tup is there, and look at him. It feels like yesterday he was a baby shiny, and now he's like moving and speaking with confidence, and he saved my son's life. They grew up so fast.
Yes, and they engage in combat. And not just any combat. This combat has the Bubble Boys!
They do. It's been quite a few Clone Watch episodes since we've had to run that clip.
Yes. They're back. They're here. They're shooting.
It's a full squad of them. Like it's normally like a big dangerous moment.
They're here for about 30 seconds.
Yes.
And then they go away. But
they come back.
Yeah. I like the twins' trick of floating, the shielded droidicas up to slowly lower them back down on the droid poppers so the grenades are inside the shields.
Oh, yeah.
It really sells that this is like 3 years before. New tricks have been developed.
It's like, I wonder how long people would like stare at them like, how did we get the droid poppers in? And then someone's finally like, wait, what if we just, pick them up and then put them back down?
And the amount of droid poppers they put out is like, well, this is perfect trick. But it's like,
what if we just pick up the droidicas and move them somewhere else?
And Tup isn't feeling so well. He says that he doesn't feel like himself, but I'm sure it's fine. He's just tired.
Yeah. He's saying Jedi quite menacingly, which surely doesn't mean anything.
What are you talking about? He's just tired.
Mm-hmm.
What is the lore break?
For our antagonist, this is the return of Admiral Trent. All the way from season 2, episode 16, Cat and Mouse. Actually, the first episode, chronologically, of the Clone Wars series.
Yeah, something about chronological. Mutter, grumble,
where
gripe.
he seemingly met his end at the hands of Anakin and Admiral Yularen, but he's back with cyborg stuff.
Cyborg spiders.
Yes, it's so we get a little bit of Tup, not feeling so great.
Hey, you all right? Yeah. I just...
Come on, this is a textbook battle. We've run through this a million times before in training.
Yeah, I know. I don't feel like myself.
What do you mean?
Follow me.
Jedi.
Tup, what's the matter with you?
Nothing. I'm fine.
Come on, brother. Don't want to be left behind.
Screaming, crying, throwing up, just Tup, no! Okay, but real talk, I love how they had him, describe what's going on is, I don't feel like myself. They could have had him say, something is wrong, or I feel weird, or, something else equally vague, but, from the get-go, they're immediately, honing in on this experience of Tup feeling like he's no longer, Tup. This sense that he's not himself, and there's this level of disconnect between who he knows himself to be and what he's actually experiencing in real time. It's like the actual him feeling alienated from the physical him. The clones are largely alienated from their physical selves because as far as the Republic is concerned, they're just tools designed to do what they're told. Oh no. They're alienated from their labor. Oh no, someone stop me before I do a Marxist reading of the Clone Wars because we don't have time for that. Sorry. Back on track. Fives is trying so hard to hype him up. He's like, come on, it'll be easy. You got this. Tup is just nervous or something. And he's trying to be a supportive brother while focusing on the task in front of them. So poor Tup just tries to follow Fives' lead, ignore whatever it is because, they have bigger fish to fry. And if Fives isn't worried, then surely he has no reason to be either. It's probably fine. And also, Fives' last line about not wanting to get left behind, dare I say...
Foreshadowing is a literary device.
Yeah.
Lore break. But alleged prison lore. A teardrop tattoo mark under the eye allegedly indicates that a wearer has committed murder, spent time in prison, or is mourning a tragic loss of a loved one. And a lot of the like individual like markings on both the clones as tattoos as well as on their helmets have significant meanings.
Yep. And I mean, maybe Tup has done all three.
Tup has had that teardrop since we first met him during
Yes.
the
Umbara.
arc that I don't like to talk about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
With,
I mean,
the Jedi General I don't like to talk about because he's a mean person who did bad things to my boys.
He's a meanie pants.
Yes, he's a meanie pants.
So Tup starts saying, "Good soldiers follow orders," and then just casually walks up to one of the Jedi and shoots her in the head.
Yep. And that dramatic moment is immediately followed up by more Bubble Boys! And also some B2s.
But mostly Bubble Boys.
Yeah, mostly Bubble Boys.
But there's also some B2s and some of the heavy aerial B2s, and this is not a good time for air horns. So this is
no, we're talking about Bubble Boys, Nick. Come on, get on the program.
Yeah, it's the Bubble
Yeah.
Boys.
Get on program.
They basically force everybody to retreat with one of the Jedi suddenly taken down.
And Admiral Trench reports back to Count Dooku, telling him that the clone trooper looked like he just couldn't help himself in shooting the Jedi.
With a couple of clicks, little clicks of a teeth every so often.
And I would like to note that Trench is getting a great usage of his multiple arms by doing both a beard stroke and the arms folded back behind the back combo. A truly powerful stance for contemplation.
I mean, if you had 4 arms, wouldn't you aura farm like that?
Oh, undoubtedly.
Max?
It's a powerful pose that few can compete with.
He's posing like that in front of Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
He did use the specific wording, but I think our guest is gonna use certain sound clips later tonight, so I won't draw attention to it yet.
Mm-hmm. Basically, I picture the scene as like Dooku's just actively panicking, but he's trying to play it cool when Trench reports what happened, and he's all like, oh, he's probably just a traitor, nothing to see here. Oh, what's that? You could visibly tell that he wasn't acting of his own volition? Wow, that sure is weird. No idea why that would ever happen. Excuse me, I gotta go make some calls. And then on the other hand, you hear, "Thank you for calling the Kamino and Clothing customer service line. Your call is very important to us. Please remain on the line for the next available agent." And he's just stuck on hold for like the next 10-15 minutes.
He's just standing like stiff as a board, but he's also like,
somebody pick up! Anybody pick up! This is a problem!
I can put the phone down and run grab myself a drink, but as soon as I do, they're gonna answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, better not need to go to the bathroom because that will also be when they answer, and then they'll hang up and you gotta be on hold all over again.
And there's also a private message to be like from Sidious being like, hey, I got a feeling that something's going wrong. Something's going wrong? Something's going wrong?
I just had a memory triggered in me. The very first call center that I worked in, for a time, they had like a live service for during the hold. And the customers had to like enter information in that basically identified them as they got into the queue. And there would be like a live DJ that would come on and it would rotate through songs. It wasn't just generic hold music. And they'd be like, "Hey Betsy, thanks for holding for us. Hope you enjoy this song. While you wait, we'll be with you shortly," and then launch into another song.
Oh my god, I would hate that.
Several people were like, "That was creepy. Stop
Don't talk to me like that. Who are you?"
That sounds cyberpunk dystopian.
That's horrifying.
Like, I do not want them to. Like, it's bad enough that it's generic bad music, I don't want to acknowledge me that they're there, and then still playing generic, horrible music.
No, like I said, this wasn't generic. This was like songs. This
But
was
you get to request a song.
this was like an expensive hold service, which is part of why it went away. That and customers found it creepy.
Fucking weird, man.
Yeah, that sounds fucking horrifying.
I already have to make an adult phone call. Stop perceiving me while I'm on hold. Nightmare fuel.
Don't ask me to make song requests when I'm waiting to just do a call. Like, oh god, that's horrible.
They weren't asking for requests because they couldn't interact with you, but they were just
even worse.
It was just like, hey Nick, we appreciate your business. Please hold, for the next available agent. And while you listen, we appreciate your patience. So this one's for you.
So you can hear them, but they can't hear you. So you could be screaming bloody murder on the other end of the line as you're getting stabbed, and they would have no idea.
Oh, here, Nick. Here's the rude sandstorm. It's like, why? Why did you think that that's what I wanted?
And then it would launch into some, totally inoffensive, pop music thing, and
the same music they play over the speakers at the grocery store.
Yes, although the grocery store that we go to, sometimes they have some, pretty good stuff.
But we're like, oh god, that sounds terrible. Back on track. We're talking about one dystopian in sci-fi series. We need to get into the side notes about this dystopian series.
Yeah, sorry, I was stuck in just the horrifying concept that brought up. Okay, now to get that off of my mind, because we have enough horrifying things here. Oh, I just wanted to say that, side note, I live for how much trust Anakin puts in the 501st and how much respect he treats them with. Tup essentially just committed treason, and instead of being like, he murdered Tiplar, take him into custody or whatever, he looks at Five and is like, okay, something's going on with Tup. Fives, you're in charge of looking after him until we can figure out what's going on. Anakin knows what he saw, but he also knows Tup. He knows that Tup would never do something like that because that's not who Tup is. And then when they finally regroup, his first question is, how's Tup doing? He said he wanted answers, but instead of asking why or how, the first thing on his mind is whether or not Tup is okay, because that's the kind of person Anakin is. I just like that.
Yes. And as Rex and Fives tried to ask Tup what happened, he just keeps repeating that mantra over and over again. Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. And then he lunges forward, shouting, kill the Jedi. And at that point, the plot thickens.
My lord, I have received a report that leads me to conclude we may have encountered a grave complication with one of our assets.
Assets?
Yes, sir. A clone trooper has executed one of the Jedi generals.
And you believe this is indicative of our programming?
I do, my lord. But I cannot be certain.
It is pertinent we ascertain if this is an isolated event. A failure in this particular clone's programming. Otherwise, my plans may be ruined. Seize the clone immediately.
Yes, my master.
So that's not ominous at all.
Nope. It's fine.
It's totally fine that the other side has some kind of programming into the clones.
Yeah, I'm sure that everything will be okay.
And that flows immediately into this.
Fives, what's happening to me? You don't remember? No. You murdered General Tiplar. What? No. That's not possible. I would never. I could never. Tup, you did. I don't understand. How could this happen? What's happening to me, Fives? No! What do you think happened?
Did you check all of his scans?
Well, all of his scans are clear. As far as I can tell, this is a combat-related stress. It seems he's had some sort of breakdown. Kix, you should know better. We were designed to withstand any stress. I agree. We've been through a lot together. He doesn't seem to remember what happened. It's like he's sick or drugged. Well, it could be a virus, a toxin. I can't be certain.
Let's talk outside. You mean the enemy could have made him do this?
It's a possibility. There have been rumors that separatists have been trying to develop an anti-clone virus. Biological warfare.
Listen, we aren't equipped for this type of situation. You'll have to be taken back to Camino. Only then will you have your answer.
I have a lot of feelings about this whole scene, but I'm gonna have to bike rack some of them for now because they come into play more later. But, I just... Top! I'm gonna try to make this as concise as I can. Yeah, I know. But, Tup is undergoing probably, the most terrifying experience of his entire fucking life right now. Because, what would actually be scarier? A room full of Drenekas or, not being able to trust that the things you know to be real and true are real and true? The Drenekas would probably kill you, but at least you could try to, fight them or run away or something. What do you do when you can't trust your own memory or senses or reality or, anything about yourself? You can't shoot the existential dread of losing your sense of self and agency and autonomy. Not that I have any experience with that or anything. Nope, dissociation. I don't know her. Oh, and to make it extra horrifying, just think about the implications. The clones already have no rights or official status as, sentient beings, and a good chunk of the galaxy sees them as nothing more than, material for the GAR. The only thing they have to separate them from the battle droids is their individual sense of self and autonomy, their ability to think for themselves. And then the chips take all of that away. Fives insist the clones aren't meat clankers at various points, but what does it mean if they can be programmed just like one? Oh, and also, just want to mention how horrifying is that whole we were built to withstand any stress thing? Just take the clones and bioengineer the trauma and associated life-saving stress responses just right out of them. Something normal to want and possible to achieve. I mean, I guess it is since the Kaminoans apparently did it. Or do they just tell the clones they did that, so if a clone does exhibit signs of stress and anxiety, it's not because of the whole, everything that's happening, but rather because that clone has something wrong with them and it's clearly just defective and it's an excuse? Just a thought.
Honestly, Betsy, that's been sort of the thing that I feel like has been ignored about a lot of the Clone Wars stories. Is they're engineered to be better. It's is that a good thing that they can't process things normally? And especially when we do see post in canon, we see clones afterwards. They are not all right.
No.
They are not in the best space. And I feel it's because less because that these things at best these supposed conditionings and programming are suppressing the initial problems. But again, these are products to the Kaminoans. They are products to the GAR. They are meant to be disposed of. So we're not at all thinking about all right, what happens after the conflict?
They didn't think about the implications. They didn't think about them.
Because it wasn't the purpose. And we'll eventually see, honestly, for as many people have, even I have some issues with the Obi-Wan series, seeing a clone on the streets begging for coins and clearly going through it. It's
almost like what you see when you walk down any big city street with veterans that, don't actually get any help for serving their country. Who said that?
And Nick, weren't that clone's markings part of Obi-Wan's?
They were part of the 212. Yes, I think I remember that.
They were a 212 member. And the fact that, again, they served with Obi-Wan. And it's but honestly, you could argue the fact that Obi-Wan has changed so much, but also you could argue that this individual has to the fact that they are not meant to like survive this long, could not recognize someone that they spent the most formative years with.
Meanwhile, Obi-Wan probably knew his name on sight.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there.
Yep.
Either way, we're talking about the fact that like the Clone Wars is a tragedy for all sides.
And you know, speaking of foreshadowing, now that I think about it, the way you're talking, Betsy, and the way you were just now, Nick, that has a lot in common with some subject matter that Betsy, you and I are going to be tackling later on when we're looking at Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Slayer isn't supposed to pass age 18.
Nope. It's almost like there's a common theme to a lot of the media we consume, isn't there?
Yep. And
I
don't want to derail this.
Quote unquote child soldiers.
I don't want to derail this too much into Buffy talk, but I have recently been on Threads. I've been following someone who's watching Buffy and Angel for the first time. And interesting note, Betsy, yesterday she got to the body.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But
I don't want to be part of the Buffy cast. I want to be part of the Buffy of the body episode. It's one of the most impactful episodes I've ever watched.
We're going to be doing a half season at a time.
Okay.
But
season 1's going to be one because it's shorter.
Yeah. But
if I can bring in some notes on that, I would love to.
I mean, we're literally going to cover Joss Whedon's entire body of work, so
that's why we're doing half a season at a time.
Because we also have a lot of other stuff to talk about, including Firefly and Avengers and all of it.
But would love to give some of that episode.
But in all of the discussion of Buffy, one of the things that has kept coming up because there's a lot of us interacting and discussing as she posts each episode that she's on daily. And it's like going back to the episode about her 18th birthday, where they have the Watchers Council has that ritual where they drug the Slayer's powers away and lock her in an enclosed space with a vampire. As a quote unquote test to make sure she has the skills to survive. No, you want the Slayer to die at 18 so you don't have an adult to deal with.
Sounds very ritualistic, almost like some sort of trial, like the Jedi trials.
And a lot of people asking, why doesn't the Watchers Council pay the Slayer like they do her Watcher? Because they want the Slayer dependent on her Watcher. See, again, they don't want her to reach adulthood.
Nope.
Anyway, we'll be discussing that and a whole lot more when we get to those episodes.
Let's get there
when we get there.
But the Separatists attack the Republic's ships as they're heading back to Camino, and we get some rather brutal kills. So remember, as always, this is a kids' show.
Yep.
Even though we're now currently on Netflix rather than Cartoon Network, because we're now in the Lost Missions, it's remaining consistent in how it depicts violent acts, just skirting those lines that, it's for kids. It's just dead bodies floating around, but it's like,
well, I was thinking in particular,
it's shot in the face.
I was thinking in particular of when the one droid just launches itself at the canopy of the shuttle and just headshots the pilot through the canopy glass.
Oh, I was thinking of when the buzz droids come in and break the canopy, and then he just gets sucked into the vacuum of space with his helmet off, so you see his horrified expression as he dies.
Yeah, that too.
Yes. Again, the vacuum of space is quite deadly.
Again, it is skirting that line. It's like, there's no blood, there's no gore. It's like, it's just horrific, instant death.
And
kids.
they take Tup. And
My
Anakin
boy!
Oh, honestly,
Anakin and Rex.
I think I mentioned Lawrence. If Ventress was still on the Separatist team, this would have been a Ventress mission.
Yeah, probably. If she could have gotten there on time.
And of course, it would have been a
But-
Savage mission if he was with Dooku for longer than 2 hours.
Yeah.
But Anakin
But
and
either
Rex.
way, but this was a surgical strike. Honestly, the most effective strike the Separatists have done in ever. With just droids.
And Anakin and Rex confirm that Tup was taken, and they decide that means the Separatists must have been responsible for what Tup did. So, to quote Tony Stark, well, you're not wrong.
They're technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Yes. And Anakin, Rex,
It's a
and
three-man
Fives
team.
make their way to the Separatist ship, and just because Betsy requested this clip.
Are your scopes Jedi issue, sir? Stay focused, Fives.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say. I just wanted to include the clip of the dick joke.
Be back a few seconds, and yes, those are Jedi. Should they come with the Jedi equipment belt?
Leave it to Nick to take it literally.
I feel like they're, are they saying something with that, or I don't know. We could ask Padme; she would know.
Well, see, that was Anakin's lightsaber. He held this.
She can comment on the size of his lightsaber and the size of his macro binoculars.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the hangar is full of droids, so they can't really get in easily. So as the shuttle with Tup takes off, Rex and Fives fire grappling hooks onto the departing shuttle.
And Anakin gets a piggyback ride from Rex.
Well, honestly, I wanted to say, this absurd of a plan, and also discussing why they're hanging out outside the hangar bay of an enemy ship was even the banter they had is well, we believe you could handle that, General Skywalker. We'd probably not see that. But then coming up with a plan to follow the top subtle was he is becoming an influence on them, very much with unconventional planning and unique ideas.
And he lets them do all kinds of unconventional things. It's not just his ideas either. And he's like, cool, sounds great, let's go.
Because they did it
watching him.
We learned it by watching you, Dad!
But
He's spreading his weirdness across the world.
But the fact that they had the moment is well, we're pretty sure you could probably handle this situation. Would we survive the situation? No. and he's okay, what's your alternate situation? Which implies Anakin was already ready to I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna fight all those droids.
Well, of course he is.
No.
He's Anakin Skywalker. They told him to pick his battles, and he decided he was going to pick all of them.
Yes.
But his two clone sons were hey, we wouldn't survive that. Let's maybe do your plan B or plan C. Plan Q, where it is, where we can all survive.
And he's just fine, you're right. We'll do it the less fun way.
Well, I mean, you say that what they chose to do wouldn't be fun, too.
Oh, I just mean less fun for Anakin because he doesn't get to kill anything. Yet.
True.
He doesn't have to go in there just lightsaber ablazing. Because he could. So, again, I do love that they're yeah, you can do that. I'm not sure if we'll survive. You will.
Instead, they get to fling themselves up onto the little ship.
And again,
so I do love
appeals to Anakin being Oh, I like that because that's fun.
I do love that while they are grappling and, being pulled up to the shuttle, the battle droid pilot notes that they were experiencing some drag, but it cleared up, and the tactical droid is all, you were experiencing drag in the vacuum of space. And then as Anakin, Rex, and Fives attack inside the shuttle, well, now we're feeling turbulent.
Classic
That
battle.
was just
Again, like battle droid.
Oh yeah, it's
banter is peak comedy.
They delight me.
Yes, and then as they take out the various droids, Anakin tries to interrogate the tactical droid, and the tactical droid notes that he is programmed to resist intimidation. At which point Anakin just beheads him, basically.
The Skywalker way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, it's the Jedi way, just take
Ask
off
Obi-Wan.
an appendage of some kind.
Yeah, ask Obi-Wan. He's dismembered more bodies than anyone else in this series, as far as we know.
I learned from watching you, Dad Obi-Wan.
So they get Tup back and send him off to Kamino for examination with Rex and Fives in tow.
I want a full report from Kamino. If Tup is the victim of some separatist plot, we have no idea of how widespread it already is.
Permission to come with you, sir. He's my best friend. You may need help, but everything must be done by the book. Understood, sir. You're to stay by his side at all times. I don't want any more slip-ups. Yes, sir. Good. Let's go.
Don't mind me, I'm just over here crying about Fives calling Tup his best friend. And crying over how many of Fives' friends are dead. But it's fine. I'm fine.
Insert montage of Fives and Tups being friends.
All their other friends.
If only they could use the power of friendship.
Yes.
It's there somewhere.
Yep.
I tried to make you cry because we still have a couple more. We're only episode 2.
we that does take us to episode 2, Conspiracy, season 6, episode 2.
Wow.
Fives uncovers a secret in the Kaminoan cloning facility.
A secret not even Master Kenobi could find.
So our boys arrive on Kamino, where Tup's going to be examined.
Yes, and they want to check on Fives, as whatever is affecting Tup may be affecting him too.
Uh-huh.
You will have to say goodbye to your friend now.
Yes, Doctor. General Shakti.
Captain Rex. Fives, am I correct?
Yes, General.
You've served with Tup?
Yes.
You must come with me.
With all due respect, General, I can't just abandon him now.
You must let the doctors do their work. Do not be afraid. Your friend is in quite capable hands. Dr. Nala Say is the chief medical scientist on Kamino. She was one of the primary engineers of all the clones. Now we must take care of you.
Me? There's nothing wrong with me, General. I'm perfectly fine.
We can't be sure of that until we've completed a full exam. If a virus was the cause of Tup's breakdown, you have more than likely been exposed to the contagion. You haven't entered the advanced stages yet, as Tup has, but any information we can gather from you could help to find a cure for Tup.
All right, General. If it'll help Tup.
Captain Rex, General Skywalker has ordered you back to the war zone. You are to leave immediately.
I'm sorry, Fives. I wish I could stay, but duty calls. It's fine, sir. Fighting a virus is a nice change of pace from all those clankers. Take care of yourself. And Tup.
I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fine. But, I mean, Shakti gets all the points for knowing Fives and Rex's names. Like, actually makes me think of that headcanon I saw going around, like, forever ago about Shakti being like the clone's mom, just like how Plo is the clone's dad. But no, like, Fives just looks and sounds so devastated when Shakti says that he has to leave so the medics can actually look at Tup. Like, you can hear the shake that D. Bradley Baker puts into his lines here and how he's just, like, struggling to keep it together because his best friend is dying and there's nothing he can do about it, and now he can't even stay with him, which is terrifying because what if they can't help him and this is a permanent goodbye, but he's on Camino in front of a general and surrounded by the people who engineered him to, what was it again? Withstand any stress? Because he's certainly not withstanding any of this shit right now, but also he's got to be brave for Tup, and I just, But also I can't help but wonder, like, is there any anxiety around showing, like, a level of quote-unquote weakness in front of the Kaminoans, especially Nala Se? Because if he can't handle this on an emotional level, that must mean he's defective, right? Because, like, Shakti said when Shakti said he had to leave, he protested when not even 30 seconds ago, Nala Se said it's time to say goodbye to your friend, and he immediately acquiesced. Like, I don't know, it's just something I was thinking about.
Basically, I just have to say, like, Nala Se, how do you feel about Nala Se?
Oh, I will tell you later that I want to throw things at her. I have a rant later. We'll get there when we get there.
We will get there.
Oh, that's spoilers. Spoilers.
No, but that, like, you know, they take Fives into one room and, like, they're looking over him trying to figure out what's wrong, and they take Tup into the other room.
We're not there.
Yes, we are.
I didn't mean to trigger you. You have one more line.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting there. Because, you know, they, like, strapped up onto the table, and they're like, okay, let's figure out what's wrong with him. And to do that, they literally just give him the Pulp Fiction treatment.
Prank caller.
You know,
that
just
one?
that one. And, you know, also just, like, shove the syringe right in the heart.
Oh, yeah. And so they scan him.
Oh yeah. It didn't have enough feet. That's why I didn't recognize the reference.
Of course. Yeah, needed more feet, always.
So although, you know, it's kind of funny that we reference that scene from Pulp Fiction while we're talking about Star Wars, because in that scene, the quote "girl with all the shit in her face" unquote was the pilot of the Republic cruiser at the beginning of Phantom Menace.
Hey!
Oh, it all comes around.
It's like poetry.
Yeah, it is.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
So they scan Tup, and they don't find any trace of a virus. But as he comes to, he sees Shakti, and he starts talking about killing Jedi and orders again. So Shakti wonders if the Separatists have brainwashed him, and they sedate him again.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, Fives is trapped on the other side of the glass that she then closes so he can't actually see what's happening with his friend.
Yeah, no, that is kind of an interesting point, is that Fives sees his friend seizuring about all of these tests that they're doing on him, and it seems like he isn't aware of what they're doing. Like, the clones don't even know what the Kaminoans do to, like, get information out of them, basically.
Above their pay grade. They don't need to know.
It's basically the fact that the Kaminoans consider them products, and that they are basically just doing product testing right now. Like,
your cell phone doesn't need to know what was done to test my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that it could see the other side is like, and then, the cell phone saw what was happening to the other cell phone. It's like, and it's having like a reaction to like, it doesn't have to see that.
And besides, you know, if the clones knew what was going on with all the tests and stuff, then the Kaminoans couldn't weaponize their ignorance to do whatever they wanted.
It is a little bit odd, though.
All by design.
With that in mind, it's still a little bit odd, though, that they didn't tint his window in the first place. If they're not supposed, like, if they are actively not supposed to know, then it feels like she would have tinted his window initially. But it almost seems like they're kind of apathetic to the clones having this knowledge, which kind of implies that it maybe should be known in, like, a general sense. Like, they shouldn't be that surprising to him. It's kind of if they're apathetic to it, then this shouldn't be that much of a surprise to Fives. If they actively keep it a secret, then they should have tinted his window initially. There's a weird situation going on there.
Well, it was an afterthought. Oh, this we're doing this really disturbing stuff, and oh yeah, he's on the other side, isn't he? Yeah, okay, let's remedy that.
Also, specifically, it was Shock T that closed the blinds. Nala Se couldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's more the fact that the idea is the fact that the clones are, again, products. The Kaminoans could care less if they see, like, oh, there could be a full-on autopsy on the other side of the room. They would not expect them to have, like, a reaction. Because, again, like, oh, why are you having a reaction? We're just taking it apart.
We designed you not to react.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly a fact that they are very human beings that have been experienced, especially with the Jedi, who have shown compassion and selflessness to them, has given them something that they can't understand. It's like you used to just be like a blank. Why are you reacting here? Like, that's the weirdness of it.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things where it feels like with that sort of mindset, the clones would probably know that this is a thing that happens to them. If the Kaminoans are apathetic to what the clones think about it and they aren't actively hiding this fact from them, then Fives probably shouldn't be this surprised about it.
Except now that we've got the whole thing where it might be an evil separatist plot with some kind of mind control thing, which throws a whole new spanner in the mix.
And they haven't had
and
to do
whenever there's
this sort of
a deviant clone,
dive.
Whenever there's a deviant clone, it's like, oh, we got to dispose of them.
Yes.
And they haven't had to do that sort of deep dive diagnostic so far to date. So,
because usually if they would need to, they never would have decanted the clone embryo in the first place. They would have just disposed of them.
I see.
Recycled them probably for genetic material. Something that the Kaminoans also do to their own kids, by the way. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about the eugenics thing they got going on.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Actually, I don't know if that's still canon anymore, but it very much is a eugenics thing based on eye color. It's kind of horrifying.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's still canon. Like, there are no actual, natural born Kaminoans. They are all clones of several different, well-developed and well-maintained genealogies.
But is the thing where they kill the, new cloned babies that have the wrong eye color still canon?
That isn't considered canon, but it has been not made uncanon.
Great, I love that. I love that so much. Well, but back to my son.
It's implied that they're still, the Kaminoans are still bastards. Horrible bastards.
Let me just talk about my son for a while, because, after that horrifying display, he's hanging out in his room with the med droid, who has a long name, but I'm just going to call him AZ, because, that's just what he's called from now on, or AZ3, depending on who you ask, but Five, just without a hint of irony or self-awareness, he looks at AZ and tells him, you're just a droid, you don't understand brotherhood or duty or the true meaning of friendship, because AZ won't let him break quarantine to go see Tup, and, I love my son, but let's be real, Echo was always the one that was holding the brain cell and Fives never got it back. But AZ's sorry, I always wanted to have human feelings, but I don't, okay, bye, was just sending me.
That was just beautiful.
That is the funniest moment.
Oh, yeah. It's
also, I do love
moment.
the idea that Az is Five calling it's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You're an Az.
But AC goes back to Tup and they're like, what's wrong? And Shaak Ti's like, so it's not a virus or psychosis, so like what the fuck is happening? And AZ's like, oh, you know what? I bet an advanced atomic brain scan would tell us. Let's do that. And then Nala Se's over here visibly sweating like, nope, sorry, no can do, because the brain scan would be too much for him. Yeah, that's it. And we already did those other scans, and those are fine. I know, we can kill him and dissect him. And by we, I mean me, by myself, alone, where none of you can see me pull that chip out of his brain. Who said that?
But I also feel like I will say like an atomic brain scan sounds really cool, and honestly, I probably could benefit. I think everyone could benefit from like that. That sounds really neat.
I don't know if anyone wants to see what my brain would look like if they scanned it.
Yeah, nobody wants to see mine.
Neither do I, but I was like, maybe they'll figure something out.
I'm sure that mine would be considered quite fascinating.
The same thing is like, at least, again, even if it's the fact it's like, I will perish, it's like, at least someone will learn something about that. Like, I'm pretty sure there's something in there.
Yeah, they'd scan mine and they would just have more questions than they started with.
But yes, AZ goes and checks up on Fives again and continues using Fives' number rather than... Well, he continues using the numbers rather than the names in general, at which point Fives and AZ start talking about the matters of clone numbers and droid numbers, the rejection of mass production, or further, production in general, that the clones do in taking on their own names, versus the acceptance of it that droids tend to do. And it's just an interesting cultural divergence between these two groups when...
Fascinating of identity and who's of self.
And it's...
and especially when they are quite similar. They are both manufactured...
products.
Yeah.
Yes, droids in Star Wars definitely seem to be people by any substantial definition. So this does seem to be really a cultural difference, ultimately, between the two groups.
It's almost like there's a level of hypocrisy in how certain groups are treated in the Star Wars.
Wow.
Not that, that has any, implications.
But you're implying that there's something cultural about the Star Wars. This is purely, divorced from all reality, and no one gets to find anything.
This is absolutely cultural, but don't worry, I'm not implying there's anything political.
Yeah, it's not like they're demonstrating the fact that, marginalized individuals can still have power over even further marginalized individuals.
No, not at all. Because this is just a story about space wizards with laser swords made for children.
Yeah, if you want to keep the Star Wars apolitical, whoever's listening to this may want to leave now while they still can. Because I get into it later!
We don't have the spoilers tag with spoilers. Yeah, she's gonna get into it.
Via the concept of intersectionality, we can safely say that the concept of clone rights is directly correlated with the concept of droid rights.
What?
Almost like all our grievances are connected.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
It's almost like the fact that this clone war is actually a war between two individuals who are actually more similar than they are different.
We're not so different, you and I, etc., etc.
So Nala Se goes to Lama Su and lays right out that it appears to be a premature activation of Clone Order 66. And
Clone Protocol 66.
Yes.
Actually.
And he still didn't do the right voice. He didn't actually. So Lama Su decides that they need to contact Lord Tyrannus. And they do.
I've been expecting your transmission. I have heard of the malfunctioning clone. How widespread is the problem?
It seems to be an isolated incident. However, this is a delicate situation. We need to terminate the clone as soon as possible in order to extract and analyze the inhibitor chip that you provided to us.
Very good. Terminate the clone immediately. However, send the chip to me for analysis.
And what if the Jedi ask for the chip and the results of the autopsy?
You must remember, the chip is a safeguard against betrayal from rogue Jedi. Master Sifo Dyas was the only Jedi who knew of this. But with his passing, we alone know of this secret. And you must keep it that way.
Yes, Lord Tyrannus. These Jedi are a curious cult.
Too spiritual for my taste. I will terminate the clone immediately.
So we get a little bit of a lore reveal here that we'll go over when we're done with all of the episodes for this episode.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What wasn't the man Jango Fett met on the fourth moon of Bogdan to become the prime clone for the clone army commissioned by the Jedi Master Sifo Dyas for the Republic? Also said that he contacted a man named Tyrannus.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's no relation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt.
I'm just saying, like,
Coincidence, that's all.
It's always like there's some sort of like if any
Phantom Menace
or some sort of reasonable like detective could have like solved this like easily.
If only we had Columbo in the Star War.
Yep.
Just one more thing.
And then that's when he force lightnings the guy.
Yeah.
Columbo would use electric judgment. Yes, he would.
You're
so shocked.
No, he would. He'd be already in contact with like the elder gods. So like he'd be like, I already saw that.
I mean, he'd meet Plo Koon, and Plo Koon would be like, "Hey, want to learn a neat trick?"
he taught Plo Koon that trick.
Oh yeah, there we go. Columbo taught Plo Koon how to do the electric judgment.
Except in Star Wars, he would be Columbo.
That's true. You need some apostrophes in there too.
Mm-hmm.
He would taught Columbo that, and met Ahsoka.
He would be column. He would be column dash bow.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to convey. With
he taught.
But with apostrophes and extra vowels too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Met Ahsoka Tano, and also his wife is the mother. The mother's like, that's how I know everything.
So Shakti contacts the Jedi Council, and we get a little background to explain why it's so easy for them to believe that there's a virus or brainwashing involved here. During the battle, prior to the beginning of the last episode, Tup went missing for a few days and returned shortly before he broke and killed the Jedi. So it's not too... It's convenient, but there's a reason why they're not just going like, okay, something really shady's going on here. Like, okay, this could have happened then. I'll give them credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
tiny bit of credit.
Yeah. The council orders Tup brought to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant so they can examine him instead of either course of action on Kamino. Instead of either killing him and dissecting him or the atomic brain scan. And so about that point back on Kamino, Fives pulls a Captain Kirk on AZ. I know it's the wrong franchise.
But it fits.
He plays on AZ's computerized logic to get him to agree to perform the brain scan that Nalase denied because shady.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is a masterful, like that is a multi-step like check to make this this medical droid be like completely like loses the plot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? That was exactly what his programming was designed for.
Yeah.
AZ didn't do anything wrong.
Yep, like I said, he kirked it. He made it use its own logic against it.
It was honestly more of a computer's check than a charisma check.
Yeah.
But he was using the computer's charisma to override, like just straight up hacking it.
He basically rules lawyered him.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like rules lawyering a robot into doing something that you want is still a computer sort of thing.
I mean, as a GM, as a GM, I would say make your case for which skill you want to use.
Mm-hmm.
I
guess if you're going more like Hacker Man route versus like, just regular Captain Kirk route.
Yeah.
Personally, because I believe that droids have their own sort of sentience, they have a degree to have their logic be changed. That's how I would use it, rather than like if you're strictly jacking it and like hacking them.
And so AZ performs the scan and finds what appears to be a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
I made a joke. It's from a movie. It's from a movie. Lauren.
I mean,
wait, I've seen this one before. It's a classic.
I mean, that one just had to be done. As soon as they kept calling it a tumor, I was like, he's not a tumor.
But I feel like Lauren explain the joke to Lauren.
I mean,
it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't think I need a further explanation.
Yeah, it's
it's a good movie.
He's got the accent. He's doing it.
Yeah. So while that's going on, Fives drops some instruments on the floor that draws Nalase's attention, and he hides as AZ makes his case for running the scan, and she totally gaslights him regarding the tumor.
It's not a tumor.
I can't believe it. I gotta kill him.
In a case like this, it is the logical course of action.
No. We were not created to be disposed of this way.
Perhaps you were. CT-5385 will be terminated so that others like him could survive.
There aren't others like him. Tup doesn't have to die. You found a tumor. I'm sure that's the cause of all this. It's the only thing that makes sense.
But how can we proceed?
Do your biopsy. I'm sure what you find will prove Tup does not have to die.
But Nala Se does not believe...
We're not going to Nala Se with whatever you find. We'll go to the General, to Shakti. She helped me once as a cadet. I know she values the life of a clone.
But we will be disobeying direct orders.
Yep, for the second time today. Can you hack into the medical center's mainframe?
I do possess that ability, yes.
All right. Well, here's what you need to do.
So, Fives, how's that withstanding any stress going? Because I know I wasn't the only one that heard him trying to stifle that sob. I know I wasn't the only one who heard that. Like, I know it's only a personal headcanon, but I'm, like, ready to fully believe that the whole, like, inability to have an emotional breakdown thing is total bullshit that the Kaminoans made up to keep the clones from behaving too much like people. Like, force forbid they ship a defective product. What would GFFA Consumer Reports say?
You are the first.
But no, like, as much as Fives always known, like, where the galaxy stands on clones, I feel like, in a way, it's kind of, like, forgotten just how disposable so many think they are. I mean, like, yes, that dehumanization has always existed for him on, like, an institutional level, but I feel like this is different because it's on, like, such a personal level. Like, Nalase really said that Tup is more valuable dead than alive, and that clones are just as disposable as droids. And while she was talking about AZ at the time, like, Fives heard the part that she didn't say, that he and Tup are no different from the clankers that the two of them shoot down every day. Like, that they matter just as little, and they're more like droids than sentient beings. Oh, hey, remember how droids can't possibly understand things like brotherhood and duty? Yeah, I think Fives is rethinking that whole part.
Yep. And so AZ triggers a false intruder alert that confines everyone to safe areas so AZ can remove the tumor.
Tuma.
The clone guards discover it was triggered from the medical bay, and Shakti immediately understands that Fives is responsible. And Nalase enters and tries to wrestle the sample away, but...
What have you done?
We've saved my friend's life. This tumor is the cause of his illness.
Give me that.
You can't be trusted.
Stand down, trooper.
General, I have evidence. It's right here.
Free. The mission. Free. Top mission. Free. The mission.
What is he saying?
Brother, what mission?
You know the one. The mission. The one in our dreams. That never ends. The one in our dreams. Oh, brother. This is the end. Forget the mission. Oh, the nightmare. I'm free. No. I thought I saved him.
I'd make a snarky, off-color joke about a certain song by The Fray, but our good friend Betsy has something to say.
Top! Why, Filoni, why do you insist on killing all these very good boys? Like, Fives tried so hard and he did everything he could to save his brother, his best friend, but it wasn't enough. And, like, even worse, there's this possibility, like, you know, at least in his mind, that he could have saved Tup if he'd helped him sooner. Because, like, Tup didn't die from having the tumor removed. His death was this slow decline, like a deterioration that gradually sapped the life from him. Like, maybe if Fives hadn't stayed behind and let Tup go to that transportal alone, or if they'd rescued Tup from the Separatists sooner, or if he'd refused to go into quarantine and insist on staying by Tup's side, then, like, maybe his friend would still be alive. Like, it's a guilt that you know is just gonna slowly eat at him over time. But, like, can we also talk about Tup's last words? Like, he knows he's dying, but he doesn't really lament that fact. Like, honestly, not really in the slightest. Like, instead he tells Fives, I'm free, which has some seriously horrifying implications. Like, the clones were literally built for war, with, like, fighting as their sole purpose, and as it stands, there's no end to that in sight, you know, unless they die. And, like, yeah, the war could end, and with it, the need to, like, literally fight. But then Tup talks about the endless mission in their dreams. Like, even if every single clone were to drop everything and stop fighting right that second, they still wouldn't be free, because even if they're no longer on the battlefield holding a blaster, their minds are still not their own. Like, this might be a spoiler, but, you know, we're gonna find out in, like, well, not even 3, it's like 2 episodes, that the dream mission Tup talked about, like, is a very real thing. Like, I mean, it is a dream, but it's not, like, something unique to Tup. Like, he meant it when he referred to it as the mission in our dreams, because Fives has them too. All of them do. It seems like even in sleep, they can't rest. And, you know, honestly, it kind of makes me wonder about Cut. Like, we met him a while ago, but, you know, he deserted and he has a farm and a family and a decent civilian life. But if he also has the same dreams every night, like, what does that mean for his escape? Like, we don't really ever get to explore it, but, you know, I just have to wonder how, like, running from the GAR in the war only to find him back there every time he closes his eyes affects him. What does that say about every other clone who might want to build their own life someday?
Yeah, you know, whenever Tup talks about the mission in our dreams, I had a slightly different interpretation, a little bit less metaphorical and a little bit more literal, where, you know, he just had a controlling element removed from his mind, and, well, it certainly doesn't seem to have any active impact on their thoughts and actions, until a specific moment anyway, this gave off the impression that it still had some kind of subconscious effect on their minds, perhaps giving them visions, dreams, nightmares of the particular orders that the Kaminoans talked about giving them, and elements of that coding seeping slightly into their minds, even when not active, preparing them for what they'd have to do someday. However, with the chip removed, he was literally freed from that subconscious influence at the very end. And in particular, with the chip malfunctioning, that subconscious influence had become a more conscious influence at that time anyway. So having it removed probably did actively affect how his mind was operating in his last moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But I was
I
thinking,
do.
like, all of them have that chip in their head, though, right now, so all of them are still experiencing that. Like, I also think that the dreams are a very literal thing, and the fact that it's what they experience when they close their eyes, like, you know, subconsciously or otherwise. And, like, I mentioned Cut, but when Cup, you know, deserted, he didn't have his chip removed because no one knew it even existed.
And
So, like,
That's a
notably,
character I would
yeah,
like
well,
to explore, but I would say, like, especially what you said about Top, Lauren. It's like, yeah, it's very much the case of, like, and again, this is we will find out that the chip is malfunctioning, but it is something that those bled more into the mind and create a psychosis, a problem that they could not have. It's like, it's still in there. It's like, it's just fascinating to see how this instance happened.
yes. And notably, Tup's last words are telling Fives to let go of the mission, which we'll see if he does.
I don't know if you can see me right now, but I'm making a face.
Well, we don't have.
You know what it looks like. You've seen it before.
I've seen the Betsy face.
Yes.
Yep. And so Shakti and Nalase report to Chancellor Palpatine, and instead of the Jedi Temple, Palpatine suggests that the best course of action is to send the tumor to the Grand Medical Facility on Coruscant for examination, and they agree. And we close on a not sinister at all looking Palpatine.
Well, what are you saying about it? He's Supreme Chancellor. He's
He never looks sinister.
I said not sinister at all.
That's true. You did say it.
That's true.
What part of not at all was, unclear to you?
All of it?
Apparently so.
Oh, no, I was answering your question.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Episode 3!
That takes us into Episode 3, Fugitive, Season 6, Episode 3. Fives uncovers a construct in the brains of all clone troopers.
But excuse me, like, how dare they decide to arrest my son like that? I'll have you all know that Fives has never done anything wrong in his life. Thank you very much.
Can we create
He has never done anything wrong in his life.
A war crime?
Never done anything wrong in his life.
Stop while you're ahead, Nick. Betsy knows where you live.
It's true. And I know where the scrolls are.
Oh, she does.
So let's take a listen here.
I'll end. You're right, correct.
Let's take a listen here.
Perhaps we would know more if this clone had not taken matters into his own hands.
Listen, I was trying to save my friend.
And yet, perhaps by removing this tumor, it was you who killed him.
What do you care? You were gonna kill him anyway, and dissect him too. He's a soldier. He deserves better.
Stand down, Fives. Doctor, there is no proof of your claim. I want this specimen and all the data prepared for transit to the Jedi Temple.
The Chancellor said the tumor and data was to be sent directly to the medical facility on Coruscant, not the Jedi Temple.
And it will get there. But after the Jedi have run an analysis on it first.
I protest. I must personally deliver the tumor to the Chancellor as ordered.
You can protest all you want. My word is final. You have one more physical to pass. If you are cleared, you will be sent back to the 501st.
Fuck yeah, Tup deserves better. And also, how dare you try to blame my son for Tup's death? Excuse you. And to prey on his survivor's guilt like that? Yeah, how very dare. But, like, seriously, just... Nelise continues to say with her whole chest just how little she values the clones as anything but a material asset. Oh no. Hey, remember how I told you guys earlier to stop me from going on a Marxist analysis of this children's cartoon? Yeah, my
Yeah.
brain brought it
Uh-huh.
back because all I can think about is how the Kim and Owen's treatment of the clones represents the worst excesses of late-stage capitalism, but now with corporatized slavery.
Oh boy.
But
Hey.
Bessie, I was supposed to bring you to a potential analysis of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. If you're gonna do doing your Marxist interpretation of things here.
oh, you're right. Okay, we don't have time for that. You know,
Yeah,
at least
we'll-
not
we'll-
unless we want to be here for another hour.
We'll get to the Marxism in My Little Pony season 5.
hmm Also, like, I don't have time to figure out which box the books I need are in because there's a lot of boxes over here. So, instead, back to just my son and how Nalise is being super mean to him, but also kind of obliquely touching on capitalism because I'm incapable of doing otherwise. Like, of fucking course our first move is to shift all blame onto Fives as if it's all his fault that Tep died. You know, never mind that she was gonna fucking dissect him. Like, she's going all in on the deflection and obfuscation to paint Fives as, like, I don't know, an unhinged murder or whatever, when she was going to, you know, euthanize Tup from the get-go. And all in an effort to discredit him and cover up the real threat. Because, like, the thing is, none of her actions, or at least the vast majority of them, like, they're not in service of helping Papa Palpatine's evil scheme, because, honestly, I feel like at the end of the day, she and Lamasu and everyone else at the cloning facility couldn't give less of a shit about his whole take over the galaxy deal. I mean, hell, she's not even necessarily trying all that hard to protect herself. I mean, not that she really needs to right now anyway, because she's kind of indispensable. But it's like everything she's doing is about protecting the corporate interest of Kamino's cloning industry, and it just so happens that Palpy is the one giving them money. Like, you can't tell me that if their public suddenly had the credits to outbid him, the Kaminoans wouldn't immediately jump ship. And, like, I mean, yeah, she's also super into science, but, you know, once again, referencing the capitalist dystopian nightmare, like, she depends on private interests to get the money to do the science, therefore her science serves those interests entirely. Who needs ethics? We can get more credits, right? You know, not that any of that is relevant to anything going on in the real world right now. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Nope, nothing at all.
It's almost like oh wait, it's not a metaphor because this is a galaxy far away.
Yes,
far
it is
away.
It does in fact rhyme.
It long ago. So it's like we cannot at all look at anything at all right now to this at all. Don't look at it. Don't look at the parallels.
People with engineering degrees can definitely get jobs that don't involve destroying people.
Same with geologists.
So
No,
more
seriously.
props to Shakti because she's still planning to send the tumor to the Jedi Temple instead
not
of
a
the
tumor.
medical facility, despite Nalise's protests.
Yay, Shakti!
But yeah, Fives gets to have one more physical, and if he passes, he'll be sent back to the 501st.
On the front line.
Sure he will.
Honestly, my biggest problem was like this: like you'll be sent back to the front lines. Like, do you mean the battlefront?
I mean, joke's on her, because if they send him to the front lines, he's gonna be fucking fine.
Yep. But worth noting is, as they're having this conversation, the droid that's prepping the specimen case to take the tumor back to Coruscant swaps it out for an empty case.
And it is a classic case. It is a classic case of animation. Like one case is more is more like has better lighting than the other.
You can tell which one is the key item.
Yeah.
If this were a video game, there would be something behind this wall.
Yep, this is the one you can interact with.
Yep.
Again, it's a fun case that they actually did use that as like, as the audience will recognize, that's the actual case, not the fake case.
It's the
Well,
one
we
brick
also
on the
see
wall
it-
that has an actual texture.
Yes.
Well, we also see it close the empty case and pick it up. So, so in the hall, Fives runs into a familiar face.
AZ3.
Hello, ARC Trooper Fives. I regret that we were unable to heal your friend.
Yeah, me too.
Are you going to be reprogrammed as well?
Nah, AZ, I'm going back to the front.
That is not what I heard. I heard your mind was going to be wiped, and that you would be reassigned here and placed on sanitation detail. We can still be friends, assuming we both remember each other after our memories have been erased.
Now, Betsy, before you go into your notes here, I just want to say that I love ARC Trooper 5.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Because, going back to their whole interaction when he's like, 5 is the number. No, but my name isn't 5, it's Fives.
And there's him acknowledging Fives, especially in this case that AZ is going to be potentially mind wiped, which is regular for droids. But it's like, even in that moment, it's like, hey, I'm going to acknowledge who you are, and hopefully we'll remember each other. Maybe, possibly.
AZ's making an effort.
Yep.
He really is.
In the fact that he recognizes the fact that he will not remember the effort. He may not be even the same person.
And it's like, it as a droid, maybe it doesn't really make all that much sense to him, but it's like, okay, well, it's important to Fives, therefore I'm going to use the name that he wants because it matters to him. Because that's the only thing that's important here. It doesn't matter if I understand it or not.
And your paragraph.
Yes. Yeah, because honestly, before I start yelling, which I will, because you know me, can we also just talk about Fives?
It is the first sentence.
Yeah. But, can we talk about, Fives greeting AZ like a friend and just, talking to him like an equal? He's the one that initiated our conversation. And he recognized AZ specifically on site, despite, there being a whole bunch of other identical medical droids all throughout the facility. Look at that growth. I'm so proud of him.
He's learning intersectionality.
Especially considering that again, his whole entire life has been fighting droids and has been calling them the C word.
No, we're not talking about cunt, it's clinkers. Don't worry. But no, just look at him. Maybe Echo didn't fully let go. Maybe Echo didn't fully keep the brain cell this whole time. Maybe there's hope yet. Oh, anyway, back to yelling. They want to fucking mind wipe my son! Okay, putting aside the horror that mind wipes are just apparently standard procedure for clones who know too much, or maybe that's how they make sure the clones withstand any stress, just wipe away the trauma Eternal Sunshine style. Because, you can't have PTSD if there's nothing to stress about in post, Sorry, back on track. They want to mind wipe my son and reassign him to sanitation on Camino? Think of how much they would have to erase to accomplish that. How many memories, how much of who Fives is. Because if they just, take away the single event, he's still going to remember that he's an ARC Trooper with the 501st. No way he's just going to quietly accept reassignment. No, they'll need to wipe away everything. His time with the Dominoes, joining the 501st, becoming an ARC Trooper, everybody that he fought with, Echo, Rex, Tup, Jesse, Kix, Hardcase, Heavy, Droidbait, Cut Up, 99, Dogma, probably even some of the 212th, and most of his memories of the disaster lineage too. Everything that makes Fives would be gone, and he'd just be left an empty shell that does whatever he's told because he knows nothing else. just like what the control chip would do to him. Too bad he kicks ass and takes down an entire detail unarmed because he's that fucking good. Kick their asses, baby, I'll hold your bucket.
Yeah, and so Fives and AZ escape capture, get the tumor, and then take off from the city in an escape pod.
Yes, they have an orb escape. Because the escape pods look like orbs.
And we know you love your orbs.
Yes, I do in fact love the orbs.
Is the orb space-worthy?
Probably not. It definitely is.
It'd be cool if it were.
I mean, I'm sure it's watertight. It's probably designed to just get them out from the city into the water to be recovered.
I mean, ideally, everything on Kamino would be watertight. Otherwise, they're going to have problems.
Severe problems.
Very much so. But Fives dumps that escape pod as a diversion, and AZ shows that he can turn into sort of a cute little scooter, which I'm sure that you loved, Lauren.
Oh, yes. The droid jet ski was lovely.
I knew that you would love that. It's like, oh, look, it's a little transforming, scooter droid.
The droid gets to do a thing.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
And Fives just looks so impressed too when AZ does it. He's like, "Whoa, you could do that! This is awesome!"
I also love that, like, part of the transformation, like, AZ goes underwater, it does that, like
He's got drowning noises, despite the fact that he doesn't need to breathe.
Yeah.
So Nala Se calls Tyrannus to let him know about the escape, and he's adamant that the Jedi not learn the true nature of the inhibitor chip.
Yes. In particular, Tyrannus is worried about how Fives is behaving out of line when their programming should prevent such outbursts. Nala Se notes Jedi-inspired creative thinking in the clones.
He learned it from watching you.
Say, which Jedi was he with this whole time? Oh, fuck.
Again, it still all goes back to the disaster lineage thing. They learned it from watching once again.
So
hey, they learned it from watching Obi-Wan and Ahsoka too.
And it goes back to the thing that Yoda talked about back in the first episode.
They are individual beings in the Force. They have their own identities.
So Fives and AZ get back into the city to analyze the tumor and go to the Hall of Genetic Records, where they compare it to Jango Fett's DNA. Not only does it not match, but it's not entirely organic. It was implanted.
Did you get all the information you needed?
Mostly. We know that the tumor is a foreign material and was implanted for an unknown reason. However, there is still so much we do not know about it. For example, at what stage was it introduced to Clone Top? And why?
What is this thing? Why would someone put it in Top?
I believe this is an organic chip built out of cells.
What's it for?
I do not know.
Thanks. I need to find out if what was in Tup's head is in mine.
We have already done a scan, and...
But it was missed in Tup, and it could have been missed in me too. You have to take it out.
We cannot be 100% sure if the chip is even there.
I know it's there.
It is a dangerous surgery.
Look, you got it out of Tup. You can get it out of me.
He died after I removed the chip. Maybe it is connected. You may die too.
It's a chance I have to take. I trust you.
All right. I will do it. Let us go to a sterile facility.
Don't mind me, I'm just having feelings about Fives telling AZ in the most earnest voice, I trust you.
Yeah.
But this is back to the fact that we even acknowledge, literally, in terms of like watching the Clone Wars, the first episode was the Yoda episode with clone troopers and talking about that they are individuals in the Force. I feel that this is a moment of the Force speaking in a clone trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing that, again, clone troopers don't believe or nor have any sort of like belief in the Force. This moment is Fives, who is, yes, a much more independent clone, much more in tune with himself clone, but is a person in the Force, an individual in the Force, and feeling that there is something wrong, something inside of them. I like to think that this is a moment where the Force is speaking to the character of Fives and recognizing the chip. That's just my personal headcanon. Feel free to fight back against that. There is nothing in terms of the text to say that, but I feel that this moment was him having that moment. It's like something, the chip is in me because out of something beyond themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would say is the Force.
I see.
Possibly.
It could be.
Again, it's a headcanon.
Hey, all
And
headcanons
so-
are good as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, again, that's my headcanon.
And so Five's chip is removed, and AZ determines that it was implanted at the earliest stage when the clones were embryos. And so they go to one of the big stacks of embryo tanks in the cloning facility and start checking and find that, yeah, all of the clones have chips. And Nalase comes in, catches them, and gaslights that it was ordered by Jedi Sifo Dyas to restrain Jango Fett's aggression, and that it's common to implant clones with inhibitors. And then Shakti comes in.
Drop your weapon.
Master Jedi, I know what's going on. I have the evidence. The Jedi instructed that inhibitor chips be implanted in us at birth, but Tups malfunctioned. That's what made him lose control.
Where is the evidence?
I have it right here. As you can see, the chip taken from Clone Trooper Tup is black and rotting, indicating a malfunction of some sort.
What caused the malfunction?
It doesn't matter. The fact is, Tup's chip malfunctioned, and it drove him insane. These chips have to be removed. Otherwise, the entire Republic army could be compromised.
There is no proof of that. This is an isolated incident. Besides, when you removed Trooper Tup's chip, he died.
Well, that's not gonna happen to the rest of us.
And how do you know that?
Because I removed mine.
Here is Clone Trooper 5's chip. As you can see, there is no sign of malfunction in either him or the chip.
By removing your chip, you are a threat. Master Jedi, we must terminate this trooper immediately.
I am not a piece of hardware. I'm a living being!
You were created in our laboratories. You are Kaminoan property.
Correction. Technically, he is property of the Republic.
That does not change the fact that he is a danger and must be terminated.
I believe that's for me to decide. Fives, you are coming with me to Coruscant. I think it's time you told your story to the Chancellor.
Master Jedi, I beg you to reconsider.
The Chancellor wanted all the data on top to be sent to Coruscant. We're sending the data, the tumor, and Fives along with it.
Then I am going with you.
As you wish, Doctor.
Oh, her voice is just dripping with contempt at Nalase, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. She's right. She's right.
Yep.
You're going to say everything I want to say, so again, take it away.
Are you sure? If you have something you want to say, go ahead before I start screaming again.
I do want to say that this is incredible amounts of gaslighting. It is clearly trying to hide the lead. It is very clever, but I do love that Shakti is not taking any of that bullshit. She's like, no, we're gonna take all the evidence and we're gonna take it all the Coruscant, all of it, and we'll have that. And she said, like, well, I should be there. It's like, yeah, come with me. And so we're gonna wrap it all up there, all at Coruscant, with the evidence, with everything we have. It's like Shakti is basically like, yeah, if we're gonna get to the bottom of this, I don't care what your vision of this is. We're gonna unravel this mystery together. So, like, Shakti, top tier Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Nala Say just once again sets my son up. Like, ma'am, please stop entrapping my son. Like, despite him pointing a blaster at her, she's not stupid. She can see that, he's suddenly sporting a new buzz cut with a back-to-patch slapped on the side of his head. She knows exactly what he and AZ did. And so, like, she asks...
He could also do a good karate chop and, like, kill her immediately.
That too. Yeah. And so she asks, like, how can Fives possibly know that removing the chips isn't fatal?
Mm-hmm.
And then, he proudly replies that he removed his and he's still alive. But, like, his gotcha moment was just all according to plan because Nala Say is on record that the whole point of the chips is to limit aggression and, probably has some bullshit paperwork somewhere to back that up too. So as far as anyone knows right now, the chips only exist because Jango was deemed too aggressive. The chips were the only way to keep that aggression in check. And, back to the inciting incident, Tup killed Tiplar in a fatal act of aggression specifically because his chip stopped working. Fives took his chip out, and witnesses can prove it. Fives also had Nala Say at blaster point when everyone walked in. Nick, I think even you can do the math here. And,
Yep.
something...
Foreshadowing is a literary device.
He doesn't need math. He could have easily karate chopped Nala Say in half. And also, I was like, karate chop her in half. Like, you could do that anytime, Fives. I would be very happy with that.
But even if he did, that would be exactly what she would need him to do to prove her point. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't fucking matter. Like, we also again have Nala Say really saying the quiet part out loud just with her whole fucking chest. Like, Fives is over here trying to assert his status as a living being. Like, his right to just literally fucking exist. If she calls him company property, like, letting him stay alive is on par with somebody using the office printer for personal reasons or something. And, like, she wasn't exactly subtle about it before, but I feel like this is the first time she refers to clones as property out loud in front of a Jedi, or at least as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
And, like,
Well, again, Nala Say is brought into this. There's a different clone representative before this. Nala Say is meant to be like, oh yeah, the bad guy.
Yeah, she's the chief scientist. But, like, just what gets me is that Fives has, like, nothing to say to that. Like, he had just so much fury and righteous indignation just a second ago, but, like, as soon as the words are out of Nala Say's mouth, part of him just kind of, like, collapses. Like, he goes quiet and his grip on the blaster wavers and, like, his whole expression visibly crumbles because it's just like, what do you even say to that? Like, he's been fighting for his right to exist this whole episode, honestly, kind of this whole arc, only for Nala Say to turn it around and tell him, like, you only exist because I let you. And, like, the thing is that she's right. He only exists because he was created in the very lab where he now stands. Nala Se created his embryo and approved his decanting, maybe even personally, since, she's head of the cloning facility. Nala Se let him join the ranks of the cadets because, he met her approved performance standards. Nala Se allowed him to graduate and fully join the GAR because, once again, he met her standards. Like, until the moment he left Kamino, he was only fucking alive because she let him live. And now that he's back, she's ready to re-exert her control over his entire existence, just like she did before.
She's ready to put him back to like grind him up into primordial goo and make a new one.
And it's just like, he can assert himself all he wants, but like, Nala Se is so careful about picking her words and like her language, and it's like everything that she says and everything that she implies is true, and how do you square that with what Fives knows to like be true about himself? And like, yeah, Shakti comes to the rescue, but like, she can only get him out of there by playing Nala Se's game and like stooping to her level and invoking the same language. And like, Fives knows that Shakti sees him as a person, not property, but she still has to frame his existence like that anyway, just to like get him out of there. And that has to sting. Like, he only gets to be a living being when someone else decides he's allowed to be one.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, but I do love. That's what I love about Shakti, and that she is advocating. She is trying to like make what the Kaminoans would see like mounds of clay that they could just like throw away. It's like seeing the potential, making them better.
Yeah, and it's like, even in this situation, like, her intentions are good. All of this is designed to help and like, do good things. But I still have to imagine that like the impact on Fives is that it still hurts a little bit, that like that's what she has to do in order to get him out of there and like protect him. That like that's the reality of the situation that he's in. That not even the situation, like the fucking just life that he's in. And like, it shouldn't have to be that way.
How many of his brothers are not under Shakti's protection? How many have been lost because he can't do the same thing for all of them?
And that even when she's trying to do those things for them, she still has to do it within the confines of the way Nala Se wants things to be run. Even to the level of language used. Like, that is just so much control that, like, the Kaminoans, Nala Se, the whole cloning thing is exerting over this entire group of, like, living, breathing people. That, like even people that aren't directly a part of this whole system and, only kind of came into it after the fact, like, still have to play by the same rules.
The whole Domino Squad could have been, like, doomed to just, like, cleaning up, to janitorial duties, or they could have just been gone. Like, gone.
Yep.
And it would have been just one person like Nala Se's whim.
Mm-hmm. And that closes out that episode and brings us into the final episode of the arc, Orders, Season 6, Episode 4, Five's quest for answers brings him to Coruscant.
I'm not already crying, leave me alone.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a big one.
Here we go.
We pick up from the last episode with the group's shuttle approaching Coruscant, and Fives is strapped down, and Nala Se is scanning him, and while no one's looking, she injects him with something.
Oh, but we are Coruscant. The entire planet is one big city. Rick Ole, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Oh, am I allowed to do the voice on this one? Actually, it's Rick Ollier with an I in there. Don't test me about pilots. Don't test me about pilots.
Especially, I'm allowing you that because there's no jokes that we can do on this one. This is gonna be a whole lot of like serious.
I know, like for so much of this, it's going to be me just fighting back tears.
It's
like that's why I'm getting my joke out early here too. It's GFFA booty juice, except to the neck. or GFFA B52, whatever you prefer.
Be happy that I put the joke in the front half.
Mm-hmm.
And so they bring him to Palpatine, and here we go.
Guards, let him down, please. Now, Trooper, what brings you before me?
The chips, Chancellor.
Chips?
These were removed from both clone troopers. Clone Trooper 5's claims they are the cause of the problem.
Those are inhibitor chips, which are placed in clones to make them less aggressive and more compliant to orders. I tried to explain to this clone that they are placed in them for his own good, but he removed his chip nonetheless.
Our own good? This thing they put in us malfunctioned in Clone Trooper Tup. I removed his and analyzed it. There were signs of rapid decay.
And we're positive this has nothing to do with the virus?
No. We still do not know for sure what caused Trooper Tup to kill. We only know that his chip failed, and now this clone has removed his own chip, which makes him a risk to himself and others.
I'm not at risk. Sir, they're covering something up. I know it. If it's not them, then it's a separatist plot. They use this chip against us to make us more violent than less. That's why Tup killed General Tiplar.
A separatist plot from before the war even started? That seems unlikely, don't you agree, Master Shakti?
It does, Chancellor. It seems very unlikely.
It is absolutely impossible. What we have here is a single malfunction to one clone's inhibitor chip caused by a virus, separatist plot or not.
Perhaps it would be best if Clone Trooper 5s and I discussed this without your presence.
Chancellor, I must object.
Please, Master Jedi, trust me. I will not be alone. I have my security here. I want this soldier to feel he is having a fair say in this matter.
I know that was a long clip.
I do want to say that,
go for it.
Yes, the Chancellor is not alone. He is included with his red Senate guards.
Oh, he sure is.
I'm certain they will do something.
Yeah, it's kind of in the last line of my wall of text, actually.
Oh. Foreshadowing, is it?
Indeed. But, okay, I know this was a long clip, but, like, I really wanted to get the whole thing in there because I want to be able to talk about all of it.
Oh, it's yours? The floor is yours.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
And you all know what that means. Wall of text incoming. So, from the top. Nelise maintains that the chips limit aggression, but now she adds a fun new purpose for shoving these things into the clones' brains. Force compliance. Oh, sorry, my bad. I mean, a way to, quote, make them more compliant to orders, unquote. Which, you know, is a totally different thing. And, like, she's still pushing the, look out, guys! This clone whose name I know but refuse to acknowledge is totally gonna get you! But she's dropping some additional lore that I guess everyone except my son is just gonna breeze right past. You know, to quote Paul Matthews like I've been doing in my head this entire time, think about the implications! Don't say anything. Just let it sink in. Well, are you frightened? If you know, you know. I'd request Daryl put the audio clip in, but I'm already making him put in like a shit ton of other clips, so I'm not choosing violence this time. You're welcome, Daryl. But I also want to call out her word choice when she talks about Tup. Like, the whole prior episode, she framed killing Tup as, like, termination and disposal, just all, like, cold, clinical, non-specific, almost euphemistic language, and almost always, like, in passive voice. However, when it comes to Tup shooting Tiplar, now she decides to use the word kill in, like, harsh, direct, and active language. She's choosing every word she speaks so carefully to absolve herself and damn Tup as a crazed murderer in the same breath. And, like, you know, Five's amazing boy that he is refuses to go quietly and calls out how fucked up the whole, like, for his own good thing is. Which, not to get too political, but who have we heard use those words before, and who have they been used against? Like, I don't know about you, but I already need 2 hands to count the U.S. American specific ones. Oh, sorry, I forgot. No politics from the Star Wars. The clones definitely couldn't be used as a metaphor for any real-world populations. It's just as apolitical as X-Men. But no, Fives keeps shouting to anyone and everyone that, like, he's a living being deserving of dignity, but everyone just talks over and around him, even when they seem to be talking to him. Like, they listen to him, but they don't hear him at all. Like, case in point, Palpy. He makes a show of asking for Fives to be released and, like, point blank asks Fives why he's there, but after Fives speaks a single word, Palpy just immediately goes right over his head, literally in this case because of how tall Nala Se is, and just talks to Nala Se instead. Like, he keeps talking to her while Fives tries to advocate for his own existence. Yeah, because, that royal we he used wasn't subtle. And, like, he only comes back to Fives to mock Fives' suggested explanation. And I do mean mocking, because his challenge just, like, oozed condescension that whole time. And, like, Fives keeps trying to speak because he's convinced that if he can just get one person to hear him out in good faith, then maybe he can get the truth out there and save millions of lives in the process. Like, he's going about it the right way, heavy on the air quotes, like trusting and working within the system in a liberal framework, but blinds himself to the fact that, like, it's that same system that made all of this happen in the first place. He calls out injustice over and over again, but the problem is that the things he calls out are, in fact, just, at least according to the Republic, as it's, like, been set up to function. And, like, he's been set up to fail at every single fucking turn, and no one cares. Like, I mean, fuck, half the people in the room have a vested interest in not caring. And that's without the whole, like, evil Sith plot. Like, putting Sidious in there just makes the whole thing easier because, you don't need nuance when there's a very clear evil villain guy right there and, kids show. But, like, that's the real core of this arc, I think, how political systems and special interests use their power to silence people who just want to, like, live their fucking lives, and the best way to do that is to get everyone else to stop thinking of those groups as people. Okay, that text wall was, like, literally an entire page. No, seriously, I checked, so I'm gonna shut up now. Oh, wait, one more thing. Yeah, Nick, you already brought this up, but yeah, Palpy tells everyone not to worry about Fives because the Coruscant God will protect him. So I just want to throw in a quick...
Foreshadowing is a literary device.
Okay, now I'm done for real.
All right.
So, worth mentioning, too, when you were talking about Palpatine's condescension and saying, well, a separatist plot before the war even started? Yes, because that's exactly what you're doing.
What? Like, no! What are you talking about? That's crazy.
So, of course, he had to totally condescend to that.
Again,
nothing to see here. Move along.
I want to know the actual conversation between Fives and Palpatine. I want to know.
Be a fly on the wall for that.
Not a fly on the wall. I want to, like, word by word, like, what was it? Let's see.
Oh, you know what? You know what would be a good place for that, Nick?
Palpatine was completely over all doing a big, like, speech because he got his shit wrecked. That's the only way that Fives could have kicked his ass and left.
Well, I mean, Palpatine wanted that impression to be given so that everyone else would be sicked on him. But where would be a great place to see that story? If they continue the line of books, but shorten the length of time between source material and the books to do them. Yeah. The Clone Wars from a certain point of view.
Yes!
Because I want to hear what Palpatine told.
Oh, and you know who does that chapter in the audiobook?
D. Bradley Baker?
Sam.
No, Sam Witwer. Oh, because he's when they can't afford Ian McDermott.
Yes. I mean, he did the Return of the Jedi from a certain point of view, Palpatine story as he was dying on the Death Star.
True.
We still have D. Bradley Baker because he is like trying to deny. He's like, no, this is.
So yes,
no.
Lucasfilm, make it happen, please.
Ooh, and can we get Matt Stover to write some of it, please?
Oh, Matt Stover,
please.
He writes the scene.
I still have emotions about the novelization of Revenge of the Sith. Like, the movie has all kinds of problems, but if you read that novelization, changes everything. Changes fucking everything.
It is the best. It is the fucking best.
Just, they would never fight. They were closer than brothers, more intimate than lovers, two halves of a single solitary warrior.
There's like a fucking the whole Dragon Ball Z fight.
And then this is how it feels to be Anakin Skywalker forever.
It's the emotional fact, but also the most anime-esque fucking fight scene descriptions. It's like, and it's like, my heart.
So everyone leaves, and Palpatine doesn't seem remotely sinister at all. And we stay out in the hall with them until Palpatine starts screaming in terror, and they rush in to find Fives brandishing a blaster at him, and Palpatine saying that he went crazy and attacked.
Oh, we were just talking about the Matt Stover Revenge of the Sith novelization. Yeah, they bring that up in there too. I guess I probably can't talk about that now because that'd be spoilers, but, this behavior comes back around.
It's a good book. It's a good book.
It's a really good book. Highly recommend.
All right.
But anyway, just the way I want to fucking just throw things at Nala Say right now. Fives runs out of the facility, shoving people and droids and whatever else all over the place in a way that looks kind of violent because he's fucking drugged up to his eyeballs and can barely stay upright, much less see where the fuck he's going.
He has to be careful. Nala Say is maybe 5 toothpicks on top of each other. It'll fall apart.
No, but I mean, it's just the way she planned every fucking thing to paint Fives as a villain and back him into the corner. It's like she thinks she's fucking Yagami or something. God damn.
Again, she's also a very, very dangerous, House of Cards. She said.
Oh, no. I don't think she's a House of Cards in the slightest. I think she's got everything steady and exactly how she wants it to go as soon as she started, making contingencies for this. As soon as, she found out what happened with the chip, she was already playing all the angles and figuring out how she can make this work. And she has been, running that, mental calculus in her head this whole time. She has been setting up a long con for this. This is her playing, 12D chess or something.
So Fives escapes, and the Jedi confer about the manhunt that's been issued for him, and they note that the Jedi involvement hasn't been requested, which they think seems kind of odd. So they decide to investigate anyway, and they're going to do it quietly, though.
Quietly, with their best choice,
with their best stealth operative, Anakin Skywalker. But Anakin volunteered himself and Rex since Fives was part of the 501st, and the Jedi are intent on bringing Fives in alive.
Again, if we have to take it to canon, Obi-Wan's probably grieving, but his not girlfriend, not wife.
Which one?
Right.
Which one? Which one, Nick? Because there's several to pick from.
So, Fives hops a cab to a clone bar, and at the bar he finds Bix and Jesse.
Has the best in universe bar. conversation. But like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah. Oh,
But
there's a conspiracy? You're not the first one to talk about a conspiracy, man.
Typical cab driver.
But yeah, he bumps into Kix and Jesse at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wait, I forgot about something I wanted to talk about first. Where when he's outside and he meets like a bunch of other like drunk corporals or whatever, and the cab driver is like upset because he's not going to pay for the hover cab, and the one guy's like, "Hey, it's your credits that are paying for all of this," gesturing to himself. And I'm like,
they arrive at 79. It's like, it's the clone bar. It's like, hey, are you gonna pay me? It's like, hey, Bill is in the Republic. It's like, your mom's a droid, and they all like throw a bunch of drunk corporals throw their drinks and flip them off.
But what gets me is the one saying, "Hey, it's your credits that are paying for this," literally like gesturing at his entire body.
Because it is Bill to the Republic.
Just, you gotta love some good gallows humor and how he's making a joke out of the whole like existential horror that this random cab driver is in fact part of the reason he's allowed to exist.
But also the fact that the clones have a bar and they are basically acting like frat boys because they are paid by the Republic. And most of them are, I made the fact that most of them are like corporals or they have like captain hats. They aren't like frontline soldiers, but they're like get to enjoy the fact that they are on Republic Bay and going to a bar.
Okay, but anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. So Fives finds Kix and Jesse and just like, hold on a sec because I gotta yell for just a little bit. Yeah, I know. What else is new? Actually, no, wait. Before I yell, I need to actually cry a little bit. Specifically about seeing Jesse and Kix and not seeing anyone else from Torrent Company because they're all that's left. There are empty chairs and empty tables and I'm not okay with it. Okay, but yelling. I was doing that.
Yelling.
Okay, but yeah, he finds Kix in the bathroom and it's just like, finally, after everything that he's gone through, Fives has found someone who believes him. Like, Kix is the first and only person who has listened to Fives so far. Like, really listened. And just, I feel like that says a lot. In the critique I keep saying that I'm not making because I'm definitely not. Fives finally got someone to hear him out because he found solidarity. Like, he and Kix are in the same boat when it comes to all the bullshit that's happening, and they're united over a shared struggle for the right to self-determination and just to exist. It's like this refresher at the club is just this tiny little microcosm of class consciousness, and I love that for these boys.
And while they're in there, Fives gets Kix to contact Rex for him and slips out of the bar as security is checking IDs, but he's followed by a surveillance droid. And that, my friends, that brief appearance is the last we see of Kix this season. But Kix will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, of course.
So Anakin and Rex go to meet Fives, and he sounds like a raving lunatic. And he's even spelling out that Palpatine tried to kill him. And
again, we just finished watching this, me and Lauren, and personally, I feel that's like, yeah, he sounds like a lunatic because he has not slept. He has experienced like multiple huge revelations and basically been turned into a enemy of the state.
Also, he was drugged.
And drugged.
Yes.
Yeah, he's high as fuck right now.
He is not again, like, despite being a competent and solid soldier of the Republic, he has basically gone through the ringer.
Yep. And
So
security troop.
honestly, I feel that people just like, it was like, well, he should just be like a bit, he should just turn himself in. It's like, no, he's completely not in his right mind, and based on his true understanding, if he does, he'll die.
Yep. And security troops arrive, and, well, let's take a listen.
Fives, we are listening to you. We only want to help. How do I know you're not tricking me? How do I know it won't be a trap? The Chancellor would try to kill me. I promise you that.
The Chancellor?
He's in on it. I don't know to what extent, but I know he orchestrated much of this. He told me in the medical bay.
He told you? When you tried to assassinate him? You have gone too far, Fives. The Chancellor is incapable of what you claim.
He is! I swear to you, General, you have no idea. Stand down, soldier! Stand down! Get on your knees! No, stay back! Don't do it, soldier! Get away from me! No! Fives!
Get this ray shield off!
Fives. Brother. Call for help! We need a medic! Rex. Fives. It's bigger than any of us. Than anything I could have imagined. I never meant to. I only wanted to do my duty. Brother. Fives. Stay with me, Fives. Fives. The mission. The nightmares. They're finally over. Fives. No, Fives. Come on, Fives. Don't go. Stay with me. Stay with me. Fives. Fives. Don't go.
Daryl, before we get into it, I acknowledge your green text. Let's see. Daryl, I wanted to ask, what do you think what did Fives hear?
What do you mean?
In that meeting with Chancellor Palpatine.
Oh, I think based on what Fives said here, he went full mustache twirling villain, knowing that Fives was going to sound like a raving lunatic to anyone that he told this to. And he knew that, regardless of was going to be, regardless of who tracked Fives down, they either wouldn't believe him, and his security forces were going to take Fives out. And I mean, we heard him, he spelled it out to Anakin, and Anakin, all of the decade and a half of grooming that Palpatine has given Anakin has taken root. So the Chancellor couldn't do that. Anakin turned against Fives when
I always wanted
Fives
to hear
said that.
Your opinion. Yeah.
And I also just want to say, before surrendering the floor to Betsy, that I left some of the last on there because can we just have a moment again for Kevin Kiner and his music?
Oh yeah. Oh, Kevin Kiner had, for these 4 episodes, he killed it. In terms of like soundtrack. It's a great thing.
Just wait till Rebels.
Lauren?
It gets better and worse at the same time.
Yep.
Lauren, do you have any questions or you want to ask before?
No, I'm
we
ready to
get
hear Betsy.
into- All right, so
it's Betsy time.
Yep.
It's Betsy time. The floor is yours.
Okay, because I'm not crying. You're crying. Nobody look at me.
Okay.
Nobody touch me. I'm not okay. And this stupid cartoon for kids is breaking my heart.
Do you need extra tissues tomorrow?
Joke's on you. I already have a box right next to me. Okay, this is another long one, I know. I'm sorry, but I gotta get all this out or else I'll explode. So I'll try to read through this whole, multi-fucking paragraph thing of feelings.
Take your time.
Fives tried so fucking hard. He tries to expose the truth. He tries to warn everyone. He tries to fucking save them. And he put it all on the line only to be murdered by his own brother. Yeah, remember how I had beef with Fox over my daughter? Well, look who just shot my son. And doomed himself and all the troopers he's meant to lead in the process. But since Fox is just so good at counting to 12, he and his squad come in hot with blasters ready because, it's always just so helpful. Escalating a situation and making everything worse. A+ job, guys. And no, he does not get credit for taking off his helmet and looking kind of sad after murdering his brother. That does not make it any better. But what's more, Anakin Violence is Always the Answer Skywalker, who had just been yelling at Fives for bad-mouthing Palpatine, thinks Fox went too far. His stern expression cracks open, his Fives falls to the floor, but then he turns his gaze to Fox and he just levels this most hate-filled, disgusted look at him. If Anakin thinks killing someone was out of line, you know you fucked up. But Rex just kills me, though. Anakin had already written Fives off as, being just batshit insane, but Rex didn't. He was still listening. Fives tells him about the chips, even pointing at, the spot where they would be, and while Anakin is calling Fives crazy, we see Rex, reach back and touch that exact spot on his own head with this look of, obvious fear. Just like Kix, Rex has a level of solidarity with Fives that Anakin refuses to share. As insane as all of this stuff that Fives is talking about sounds, Rex knows the score and where clones like him stand. Honestly, the insane part isn't necessarily the idea of someone using the clones for their own purposes. It's that they would even bother creating the chips and a whole conspiracy to do it. Because, isn't the former literally already the clones' entire day job? Hell, not even their job. It's their entire purpose. The only reason they exist in the first place. When you take a step back and look at the whole conspiracy idea with that in mind, it starts to seem a lot less crazy. But Rex doesn't get a chance to extend his hand to Fives because Fox kills the man before Rex can even try. He is on his knees, cradling Fives in his arms, begging his brother not to go, and we just watch in real time as something in Rex just breaks. This is the closest we've come to seeing Rex cry, which, put a pin in that, and it just destroys me. But for me, the worst part of everything is just Fives' last words. He's clinging to life in Rex's arms, and with his dying breaths, he tells Rex 3 things. First, he tries one last time to tell Rex the truth of what's been done to them. Just in this final attempt to save his brother, and honestly, to save all of them. Because he still wants to do that in the end. And secondly, he tries to advocate for himself, but instead of the righteous indignation and conviction that he's had the whole rest of this arc, it's more like a plea. He begs Rex to understand that through all of this, he was just trying to do the right thing. What he knew to be right instead of becoming someone else's puppet. And he looks to his captain and friend for even just a scrap of validation and understanding. And I know Rex doesn't say it out loud, but I feel like his expression says it all. And then finally, just like Tup, he tells Rex that the mission, the endless one they all see in their nightmares, is over. And it's in that last singular moment is all the hurt and fear and grief and everything else melt away that finally for I think the first and only time since we met him, probably the first time in his entire life, Fives actually knows peace. And I'm not okay about it.
I mean, who could be? Who could be okay with it?
Monsters, that too.
Right. Um, and I mean, it's hard to follow that just with kind of, recap of events, but Palpatine tells the Jedi his doctors examined both clones and found a parasite native to the planet, which caused the inhibitor chips to decay. And they've developed an inoculation for all the clones as a precaution, and every day brings them closer to victory.
Foreshadowing is a literary device.
Although I do kind of wonder what made Tup's decay. Was it natural, or was there something like a parasite that did that?
I don't know. The worst part is it doesn't even matter. And I hate that.
Right? You know, it doesn't matter, but you do kind of wonder what, kind of set the whole thing in motion. I mean, the storyteller in me wonders what set it in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Because was it just obviously it was just a random happenstance, but you was it manufacturing? Because I deal with that kind of thing in work all the time. Not to refer to the clones as product, but I deal with stuff that happens in manufacturing all the time.
I mean, the chips are a
Or
product.
was there? Yeah, but I mean, was there something else that caused it? Who knows? No telling.
Mm-hmm. Or like, did he
Um,
hit his head or something?
yeah, or was there a parasite on the planet that caused his to go bad? And so this inoculation really will prevent the the trap from being sprung prematurely.
That's actually the worst
Who kn-
possible outcome.
Yeah. So Tyrannus slash Dooku has the extracted chips and contacts Sidious, who orders him to destroy the evidence. And when the time is right, there will be no one to stop their plan to, dramatic pause, execute Order 66.
Mm-hmm. He said the thing.
Thus endeth the episode and the arc. And so here's something that I see from a creation standpoint, uh, as kind of a drawback for anybody experiencing Star Wars for the first time, watching in strict chronological order and including Clone Wars. And this isn't me, doing my normal bit about chronological order. This is actually something inherent in the storytelling and the structure of the story that they're doing. And this arc relies very heavily on the audience having already seen all three of the prequels. Because we're supposed to have that oh shit moment when Tup starts keying in on the Jedi and kills her. We're supposed to be screaming at the screen when everyone's suspecting a virus or brainwashing. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they're not entirely wrong about brainwashing. or anything else. We're supposed to say, aha, so that's why it worked that way, and recognize both the earlier reference and this closing line of execute Order 66. It's all presented in this way that has a, see what we did there? You know that thing, wink and nudge. And now, Lauren, I know that you probably still get it because memes.
Mm-hmm.
But the average person just watching Star Wars for the first time and going chronologically, they're just looking at this and going, so what? What's the deal here?
Yeah,
And
notably, I did already know that this was a storyline in this season, or at least in the series in general.
Yeah,
I know about this. I knew about this one ahead of time, so I was not surprised by the sequence of events at any point, really.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you would necessarily be surprised by the sequence of events, but because I know Order 66 is a whole meme and pop culture thing. I have taken a picture when I've gone to Whataburger and gotten the little 66 tent
Yeah.
And so, like, am I supposed to be killing Jedi now?
Mhm.
But so I know that your interactions with pop culture would have you knowing this, but your average viewer who is going through it for the first time, and you see them on social media all the time. Hey, I'm just starting Star Wars for the first time, and I'm watching in chronological order. So I just finished The Acolyte, and why was I supposed to hate that?
Mm.
No, I see what
And
you're saying. Like, the whole thing depends on, like, that level of dramatic irony.
yeah, that we're supposed to recognize what's going on, and like we're the kids in the audience at Captain America's War Bonds thing when the actor playing Hitler is coming out, and the kids are like, wait, look behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're the people watching a horror movie saying, don't go in the house, don't go upstairs, because we know what's coming, because we've seen the prequels already, because this came out after the prequels and they banked on that pre-existing knowledge. And I guess saying that it's a flaw in the storytelling is too strong of a term, but I think it is a shortcoming of banking on pre-existing knowledge in a prequel story.
Yeah, no, I totally see where you're coming from, that, like, it won't have the same impact, like, the stakes won't feel nearly as high, and the emotional beats won't have as much of resonance when, like, you don't have that level of knowledge going in, because it's a dramatic irony of knowing what this means and already knowing how it ends, just not knowing how they get there in this arc, that,
Mhm.
like, makes some of it as impactful as it
I
is.
muted myself for like 5 minutes and I completely lost all my relevance.
Oh no.
Do you remember what you said? You could say it now.
It, maybe I'll
Or I guess
say it
not.
another time.
But I mean, that was just kind of my thought on
I had some good stuff to put it there. It was like with the yeah, and I maybe another time.
Okay. But so Lauren, what did you think of this arc of Clone Wars?
Yeah, I've never really been into the clones in general, or really any of the human characters in general, I suppose you could say. But out of all of the clone focused story arcs, this is definitely the best one so far. It had a lot of pathos. It had
Mm-hmm.
a lot of analysis on personhood and the idea of people being owned by others. And yeah, and also it had a lot of lore relevance as well. So generally, some good stuff. But fundamentally, not like the core of what I'm interested in Star Wars
Right.
exactly. Like for this facet of the Star Wars universe, this is the best that I have seen of that facet, essentially.
That is fair. Now, knowing that you like the weird shit,
Yeah.
you're gonna like our last. I think you're gonna like our last set of episodes in season 6.
Oh boy.
To get there, though, you have to get through.
Oh God.
You have to get through Jar Jar the Pimp, and
Jar Jar Fox.
Jar Jar fucks, unfortunately. And we all have to live with this knowledge.
and you have
As
to
does
get
Mace
through.
Windu.
But if you do like some of the lore stuff, you've heard the
There
name
is some
Sifo
good
Dyas
stuff.
several times.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get to see that story a bit.
Oh boy.
But the final.
We're gonna finally actually like deal with that stuff. It's like the mystery that I've been my biggest problem with, like, a large part of, like, the early prequels, like, the mystery is like, well, we're gonna solve that stuff. We finally do it.
All right.
But you'll get into just some weird shit in the final 3 episodes of the season.
But it's
Beautiful.
also
Looking
like,
forward to it.
it's the best weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's magical weird shit.
Ooh, lovely.
I was gonna make fun of you for saying Jar Jar fucking is magical weird shit, but
I don't know. I accept
you can't
it
tell
as,
me
like,
it's not weird.
all right, that
But
it's
Jar
weird.
Jar's, but do the Gungans use buckets to do this?
As far as we know, they do not. But you know what? Did I send you that post that one time, Lauren?
You've sent me a lot of posts, Betsy.
But the one with Jar Jar specifically.
Maybe. I feel like there have been multiple Jar Jar ones.
There's one specifically about Jar Jar's anatomy.
Maybe.
The arc involves Mother Taliesin, so we're getting into some weird shit.
I'll have to find the post, but yeah, it has things I could never unsee.
Well, okay.
Including a lesbian talking about Jar Jar's tongue.
Ah, of course.
Oh, I was wondering if it would be similar to John Oliver's obsession with a certain image of Donald Duck with an anatomically correct duck.
Yeah, that's the sequel trilogy stuff.
I mean, granted, there is some similarities, but this one's like it's an odyssey. That's all I can say.
Well, okay.
But also, Lauren, I wanted to ask you.
You know what? I think that is my cue.
Hey, no, I wanted to ask Lauren about droids.
Oh yeah, I mean we had a very good droid in this series of episodes.
AZ,
yes,
AZ
was great.
But like, I'm realizing I didn't touch on it as much as I thought I did. I think maybe I forgot to like copy paste some stuff, but like solidarity about like between the clones and droids. I wondered if you just had anything else, like any thoughts on that.
I brought it up a number of times, but the way that the series treats the B1s as comedy relief while focusing on the drama of the clones is very strange, considering that they're also sentient. And the series never really treats any other antagonists in such a comical manner. But that's also a part of not just an in-universe element, but also an element of the writers themselves. Like this isn't
it's a meta commentary, not just a commentary on the story.
Yeah, well, it's like the comedic relief element of B1s is not an in-universe element exactly. It is a thing that the writers themselves are doing as well, and it's just kind of strange. But
yeah, like there's almost a level of hypocrisy to it.
But yeah, without getting too much into that, because we are wrapping up at this point. Yeah, the way that droids are treated in the series is not great, and it is generally something that I don't think Star Wars wants you to think about.
Not at this point, at least. Not at this point, at least.
Yeah.
That will be my cue then to just say thanks for joining us for Casual Nerdity. And if you're enjoying the show, there are a few easy ways to support us. Leaving a hopefully good review on your podcast platform of choice helps more listeners find us. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe because those algorithms need their fuel. And you can also support the show directly by grabbing a t-shirt from our merch store at store.casualnerdity.com. And of course, come hang out with us on social media. We're Casual Nerdity, all one word, on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter X. Go ahead, say it, Betsy.
Shitter!
And casualnerdity.com on Blue Sky. Until next time, may your clones have names, not just numbers, emotionally speaking.
And your droids too!
Yeah.
Yes, your droids too. And so long.
Droids too.
Bye-bye.
Bye!
This has been Casual Nerdity. We hope you've enjoyed your time with us and look forward to having you back.